Good morning and welcome back to mgdriving.com. Today I'm going to take down my top and I'm going to show you how I do it. But before I do that, I got to tell you my story about my friend Michel, who sold his Triumph and got himself a Mazda Miata 5. And I kind of envy some parts of that car sometimes, because the other day I went to make a short video on his car and I asked him if he could put the top down, and he sat in it and he pushed the button and the top just went jeet, 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 and the back opened and it dropped in behind, and that was it, done with in 30 seconds or less. Not so much with my top. I see a lot of videos on putting the tops down, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is this bar here. The last bar on the top, mine is not glued. I know at University Motors and a lot of people have this piece glued, and perhaps it works better. But I found putting it up, it works better not glued, and I bet you putting it down, it works much better glued. So it's a kind of a trade-off, I would imagine. But in my case, when I got the car, they actually cut off the material that went around that back bar. So there's literally absolutely nothing I can do to put it glued. So I'm going to show you how I do it and how I roll it around, how I try to protect the back window, and snap it up with the snaps that come in the back so that I have plenty of space in the back behind my seat, and more importantly that it doesn't interfere with the seat belts, because a lot of people, and I had this problem, is you go to get the seat belts and they're tangled on the top that's just hanging in the back or whatever. So let's get started, okay? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the top. I got to unsnap the snaps. So there's one snap on the side here, and there's a snap that goes around the frame. You have to undo these or you'll start ripping things. So there's two snaps here, and then there's a third snap on the bottom. So we're going to do that on both sides. Once the snaps are done, I'm going to take the sun visors and move them out of the way and release the clamps on the front top and push it up. Okay? So what I've done here is I've relieved the pressure. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm doing these snaps, and then once that's done, I can pull the clip out of this section here. Now by now, just want to make a note, my friend Michel would have already been on the road going to the pub. I'm still here taking my top down. I also want to mention that I have a heater in my garage. So before I did this, I cranked the heat to 70 degrees for about 30 minutes. So my top wasn't so cold. It's obviously easier when the top isn't frozen, right? So I'm going to the other side and I do the same thing, undo the snaps, pull this part off, and then I can gently pull this off. And you want to do it gently because you don't want to make scratches here if you can avoid it. Now, here's where the gluing of the back bar comes in handy. If it's not glued, the back bar wants to drop down, and that's not good. So, what I have to do in mine is I have to push this back bar up to where it's supposed to be, okay, which is about there. Because when we pull it down, we want this material to go in between. And I'm challenged because I have a roll bar on top. So I have a roll bar right here that wants to get in the way. And the idea is we're going to bring it down and roll it so that it becomes like a carpet roll, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my window over nicely and gently so it's out of the way like this, okay? I'm going to do it on both sides. So now the challenge is we want to bring this down so that this material kind of goes in between these sinks so that it's not all at the back. And at the same time we want this to start rolling up. And then at the end we'll just have to roll it one flip around. You'll see what I'm talking about. I have to hold this bar in its place so that when it's coming down here. And pulling this around like that. And then this can wrap around like this, gently, like that. And you'll see that we're down level. And if I go on the other side, I'm just going to lift this up a bit and get the material in so I'm down level. And then what we can do is reach under, okay? And we have these little snaps, and we can pull up and snap, okay? Pull it up, and then I snap it. So now, you'll see that my seat belt is free and clear. And under here, I have lots of space. You'll see that I have all the space in the world here. This is rolled up and it's lifted. The windows haven't bent and basically got space to put my cover on. And you'll see that my seat belts are free and clear because it's above the seat belts. So now that it's all tucked in, we go in our trunk and we should have our tonneau, part tonneau cover. And we have something that looks like this, okay? And this will go together in this spot here. Okay. So if you notice on the side, there's going to be a slot here. And what's going to happen here is we're going to put this together like so. And we're going to stick this in one slot like this. And we're going to go around and stick this in the other slot like this. And this gives us some height to cover the top. And it's going to make it nice and taut when we tie these things down. So the next thing we do is we carefully put the back parts in. There, one, there's two. And then we do the slide on this side. Okay. And I'll come over here. And we'll do the slide here. Like that. And then we put the sides down. Now there's two snaps. One snap, you'll see right down at the bottom, you'll feel a little snap to snap into. There. And then there's this snap, so this goes over this bar, okay, and then it snaps down on the bottom here. so it holds it up. And then we have, again, 2 snaps, one here. We have this little snap and it just snaps on the bottom. There we go. And one more snap here. It's this long thing. That will go here. Like that. Now we just make sure it's all tucked in nice. And then we can tighten this up. And there. So this one here nice. There. And tighten it up. And I'm getting ready to go. This is 6:30 in the morning. I'm getting ready to go to Montreal at the MGB Montreal Club. So there you have it. A nice covered top to put on.